Chapter 3. My favorite book and why. The late bus dropped me off in my neighborhood, and I stood by the curb looking down the street at my yellow house. Inside that house right now were Thing 1 and Thing 2, my two annoying little sisters. I closed my eyes and shuddered at the thought of having to spend one more minute with them. You haven't met them yet, but trust me, if there was a prize for worst siblings of the century, Alexis and Angelina would rank right above Fudge Hatcher, Stink Moody, and Edmund Penvise. And Edmund Penvise basically sold his brothers and sisters out to the white rich for a plate of desserts. Right then and there, I thought about running away from home, just like the main characters in my favorite book. Did I tell you what my favorite book is? The one that got banned from Shelbourne Elementary? The one that I said I would go to a school board meeting and talk about out loud in front of other people? It's from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler by E. L. Konigsberg. I like a lot of other books too, especially Island of the Blue Dolphins, Hatchet, My Side of the Mountain, Hattie Big Sky, The Sign of the Beaver, and Julie of the Wolves. Basically any story where the main character gets to live alone. Indian Captive is pretty great too, even though Mary Jemison has to live in an Indian village. But I would rather live with Indian kidnappers than live with my two stupid younger sisters. I turned away from my house and looked down the road that led out of my subdivision toward the 4-lane. Papa Taco, our favorite Mexican restaurant, was just 15 minutes away by car. I could run away to there. How long would it take me to walk there? I shook my head. Even if I made it, what was I going to do? In From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, Claudia and her little brother Jamie run away to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City and hide out there every night in the bathrooms so the security guards don't find them. I could hide out in the Papa Taco bathrooms until they locked up for the night. But then I'd just be stuck in a Mexican restaurant all night. Now if I could somehow get to the library. My dreams of running away died as my mom's car turned into the subdivision and came my way. I waited until she stopped alongside me and she rolled down her window. Hey stranger, thinking about running away? Of course I was thinking about running away. Every day I stand here and think about how I could fill my backpack with a change of clothes and all the money I have, which isn't much because you don't give me enough allowance, and ride the late bus until it dropped me off somewhere closer to the mall where I could sleep every night in the beds in the department store. That's what I wanted to say. But of course, I didn't. Instead, I said, no. Mom was lighter skinned than me, with frizzy hair and big dimples in her cheeks when she smiled, like she was now. Hop in, she said. How was school? She asked as we cruised the 30 seconds to our driveway. I wanted to say, it was awful. My favorite book got banned, and Mrs. Jones asked me to come to a school board meeting and talk about it, and I said yes, and I don't know how I'll ever do it, but instead I just said, fine. Don't put your braids in your mouth, Mom told me for the millionth time. My whole head is covered in braids, some of them with little beads at the bottom. I suck on them when I get nervous, which is a lot. Mom pulled in beside Dad's truck. I got out and stood by the car, reluctant to go inside. Oh, come on, Mom said. It's not that bad. Oh, yes, it is, I wanted to say. But of course, I didn't.